Are you shocked to discover that one of the most successful black-owned businesses and a groundbreaking independent record label in American history had secrets lurking in shadows? But behind the chart-topping hits and dazzling performances, there was a darker side, one filled with pain, struggles, and tragic losses. Today, we take a closer look at the secrets lurking in the shadows of Motown, a story of success, but also of heartache. If you love deep dives into music history, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Before we explore the hidden side of Motown, let's rewind to how it all began. A man destined to be an electrician found a different path, becoming the heart and soul of Motown. He penned the label's first song and wrote many early hits that propelled its rise. That man was Berry Gordy Jr., a former auto worker who founded Motown Records in 1959 in Detroit, Michigan. He started with an $800 loan from his family, initially naming the label Tamla Records. The first release under this label was Come to Me by Marv Johnson in 1959. Motown Records Corporation was officially created in 1960, with its name being a blend of motor and town, a nod to Detroit's automotive roots. The company operated from a house on West Grand Boulevard, famously known as Hitsville, USA, where many of the iconic hits were born. One of Motown's first breakthrough songs, Money, That's What I Want, by Barrett Strong, dropped in 1959, reaching number 2 on the R&B charts, providing financial momentum for the fledgling label. The Miracles Shop Around in 1960 became Motown's first million seller, marking the birth of the distinct Motown sound characterized by powerful backbeats, melodic bass lines, and soulful harmonies. The talented in-house band, the Funk Brothers, played a huge role in crafting this signature style. Early stars like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Marvin Gaye, Mary Wells, and the Supremes soon emerged from the label. In 1961, Please Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes became Motown's first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Mary Wells, often hailed as the Queen of Motown, delivered hit after hit, with My Guy topping the charts in 1964. Meanwhile, the Supremes, led by Diana Ross, became Motown's most successful act of the 1960s, with hits like Where Did Our Love Go and Baby Love. Gordy was a visionary, creating an artist development program to refine performers' stage presence and public personas. Weekly meetings ensured only the best songs were released, guaranteeing a consistent quality. Hits like My Girl by The Temptations, Where Did Our Love Go by the Supremes, and I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye solidified Motown's dominance. The label's appeal crossed racial lines, making its music popular among both black and white audiences, helping break down racial barriers in the industry. Motown's artists went on tours that increased the label's reach, and songs like Dancing in the Street by Martha and the Vandellas became anthems of the civil rights movement. The label played a pivotal role in integrating African-American artists into mainstream American culture. Eventually, Gordy moved the label to Los Angeles, expanding into television and film, including projects like Lady Sings the Blues, starring Diana Ross. In 1988, Berry Gordy sold Motown to MCA Records and Boston Ventures. Now part of Universal Music Group, Motown continues to influence artists today, symbolizing a transformative era in music history. While Motown was creating timeless music, there were also struggles behind the scenes. One of the most tragic stories is that of Marvin Gaye, whose life was marked by a toxic relationship with his father. Gaye was known for hits like Let's Get On and Sexual Healing, but his personal life was fraught with difficulty. On April 1st, 1984, just a day before his 45th birthday, Gaye was unalived by his father, Marvin Gaye Sr., after years of tension and abuse. The two had a heated argument before the fatal encounter. Gaye's brother, Frankie, revealed his final words. I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I made him do it. Gaye Sr., who was a retired minister, pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to probation. Marvin Gaye had often spoken about the strict and abusive upbringing he endured at the hands of his father, revealing the painful personal struggles behind his public success. This darker side of Motown serves as a reminder that even in the midst of creating history-making music, personal struggles and tragedies often remain hidden from the public eye. Second on the list are the Jackson 5, a band of brothers whose incredible success launched the career of the legendary Michael Jackson. However, behind the glitz and glamour of their fame lay a grim reality, an abusive upbringing under their father, Joe Jackson. Joe, who passed away in 2018, was known for his harsh discipline, often using a belt buckle or even the cord from an electric kettle as tools of punishment. One of his notorious methods involved making the boys to move cinder blocks back and forth across the yard for hours. Before they rose to fame, their father strictly forbade them from playing with other children, demanding grueling 5-hour rehearsals after school. Mistakes in choreography were met with physical punishment. Michael, in particular, was so afraid of his father that he would reportedly vomit or pass out in his presence. Michael Jackson would eventually face struggles of his own as he grew older, with accusations of inappropriate behavior towards children surfacing several times, though he always denied them. These allegations continued to be a point of controversy even after his death in 2009, with his estate consistently maintaining his innocence. Next on the list are the Supremes, one of Motown's most successful groups. The trio, known for hits like Baby Love and Come See About Me, took the world by storm, with Diana Ross leading the group to extraordinary fame. Ross eventually embarked on a highly successful solo career, but the other members did not fare as well. Florence Ballard, one of the original members, endured a tragic life. At the age of 15, her father passed away, and just 2 years later, she was assaulted by a friend, an event that deeply scarred her. Ballard struggled with alcohol, which caused tension within the Supremes, the group she had co-founded with childhood friends Mary Wilson and Diana Ross. According to Wilson, the trauma from the assault haunted Ballard for the rest of her life. Her solo career faltered, and she faced financial struggles that ultimately led to her relying on welfare. Ballard's life was cut short at just 32 when she died of coronary thrombosis. Ross later reflected that Ballard had been battling inner demons that she simply couldn't overcome. The group was dealt another blow in February 2021 when Mary Wilson passed away at 76. Mary Wells, who ranks fourth, also faced immense hardship despite early success. Wells made history with Motown's first #1 hit, My Guy, but her personal life was tumultuous. At just 17, she married Herman Griffin, a background singer for Motown, only to suffer from his infidelity. According to the biography Mary Wells, the tumultuous life of Motown's first superstar, Griffin pressured Wells into having 2 abortions for the sake of her career. After their divorce in 1963, Wells left Motown a year later, hoping for greater opportunities, but her career never fully recovered. She later married Cecil Womack of the Valentinos, only to later engage in an affair with his brother, Curtis. Wells struggled with depression and even attempted to unalive herself in 1977. Her addiction to heroin further compounded her struggles. Heavy smoking damaged her voice, reducing it to a whisper, and she was unable to perform, leaving her in financial distress. In 1990, Wells was diagnosed with laryngeal cancer, and despite battling the disease, she passed away on July 28, 1992, after complications from pneumonia. Another star, Tammi Terrell, whose duets with Marvin Gaye like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and You're All I Need to Get By are still cherished today, also met a tragic end. Terrell's life was marked by abusive relationships, including one with James Brown, who reportedly maltreated her. Her relationship with David Ruffin, a member of the Temptations, was no different. Ruffin allegedly maltreated her with a motorcycle helmet. He also maltreated her with a hammer. Terrell's life was tragically cut short at just 24, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable music, but also a story of personal tragedy. These stories reveal the darker side of the glimmering Motown success, showing the human pain and struggles that many of its stars endured behind closed doors. In October 1967, Tammi Terrell collapsed on stage, falling into the arms of her duet partner, Marvin Gaye. Soon after, she was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. Despite the diagnosis, Terrell tried to continue her career, but by 1970, her condition had worsened significantly. She was confined to a wheelchair, had lost her vision, and her once vibrant hair was gone. Tragically, she passed away on March 16, 1970, just a month shy of her 25th birthday. Next, we turn to the DeBarge family, another group whose musical success was shadowed by tragedy. The DeBarge family produced three notable music acts: the band Switch, the group DeBarge, and solo artist Chico DeBarge. However, their rise to fame was marred by personal struggles that led many to consider the family cursed. Bobby DeBarge, a member of Switch, became addicted to heroin and was sentenced to 5 years in prison in 1988 for drug-related charges. During the 1980s, Bobby contracted HIV and sadly died of AIDS complications in 1995 at just 39 years old. The DeBarge family's troubles didn't end there. Allegations emerged that Bobby's father, who passed away in 2009, had been abusive towards his wife. Bunny DeBarge, another member of the family, battled both drug addiction and breast cancer. While she managed to overcome cancer, her addiction continued to be a significant struggle. In 2011, Bunny's daughter, Janae, confronted her on Dr. Drew's Life Changers about her ongoing substance abuse, but it's unclear if the intervention made a lasting difference. L. DeBarge, another prominent figure in the family, also faced his own demons. In 1986, he pleaded no contest after being accused of confronting a woman who rejected his advances. L. was fined and sentenced to community service. Despite these challenges, he fathered 12 children and often credited them with helping him through difficult times. However, he wasn't always present for his kids. In 2010, L. reunited with his daughter Kendall after a 15-year absence, admitting that he had held her as a newborn but hadn't seen her since. L's absence from his children's lives was partly due to his severe addiction to drugs, which left him homeless and landed him in prison for 13 months. At one point in 2010, L even lost custody of his 3-year-old daughter while struggling with his addiction. That same year, he earned a Grammy nomination and claimed to have turned his life around, declaring that drugs were no longer a part of his life. However, just a year later, he entered rehab once again, and in 2012, he was arrested for attempting to sell drugs. Despite these setbacks, L has often urged his fans to learn from his mistakes, expressing hope for a better future. Finally, Paul Williams, a founding member of the Temptations, also faced his share of personal battles. Known for hits like My Girl, Williams initially stood out for being one of the few members who abstained from alcohol and encouraged his bandmates to maintain their health. However, as he struggled with the debilitating pain of sickle cell anemia, his health began to deteriorate, and he turned to alcohol to cope. Rumor has it that Williams was drinking 2 to 3 bottles of Courvoisier a day. His bandmate Otis Williams recounted how Paul's stamina and respiratory health began to fail due to his heavy drinking, making it difficult for him to continue performing. In light of these stories, it's clear that many Motown stars faced immense personal struggles and tragedies both on and off the stage. Despite their remarkable talents and success, their lives were often overshadowed by pain and hardship. Motown's music will always stand the test of time, but the struggles its stars endured serve as a stark reminder of the complexities behind fame and fortune. From Marvin Gaye's tragic death to the personal battles faced by the Jackson 5 and the Supremes, these stories show the human side of Motown's greatest legends. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through the hidden side of Motown. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth stories from the world of music. See you next time.